most days. You should rob the blood for all this work so I can maintain. Hey, won't be reminded of the lost days.
What's up, guys? There's W here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm bringing you guys a story of the time I first punched somebody in the face. This happened around a year or two ago, back in grade 9. I say back when I'm really only going into grade 11 now. So at this time, I was dating this girl, which was one of my, I think, second longest relationship. The day before I actually punched him in the face, me and my ex were actually broken up at the time. We had a little argument and about something which wasn't actually that little, to be honest, which I'll get into other stories, of course. We were broken up, and my so-called friend at the time, we'll call this man Jim. Jim decided to message my ex. Actually, I think she messaged him first. I'm not too sure. She sent me a screenshot of where he asked her to give him a blowjob. We got back together like right before that, so I was like, bruh, what the fuck? And I already knew I shouldn't have like trusted her, but like at the same time, I was like, listen, I thought he was my friend, so I was angry. I was not happy. In the message, he didn't specifically ask for a blowjob. Apparently, she told him before we got together, or like afterwards, that if we ever broke up or something like that, she would give him a blowjob, and he asked for it after we broke up. Right there was a red flag. I was like, wait a second. When did she tell him that she'd give him a blowjob after she's single again? You know, like, I'm just like, wait, what? Was that during we were dating? Like, that's a little fucked up. And let me just remind you, this girl did cheat on me, so we're gonna call this X, by the way. We're gonna start calling her I don't know, like Abby, sure. So next day after I saw these screenshots, I was in the same class as him, and we were in last class, family studies, and I was talking to my friends, and I was like, guys, listen, should I punch him? Straight up, I was like, dude, do I fight him? Like, I don't want to like be one of those people who like just let people run over him, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, do I punch him? Do I beat him up? You know what I'm saying? Do we like ask him to fight or whatnot? I didn't know what to do. All my friends and even myself are all like, you know what, I'm gonna punch him. So at the end of the day, after class, the bell rang, and I got out of my seat and walked over to the classroom into the hallway and started walking down, and my ex, Abby, was walking down. She was in the class, I think 2 classes down from me. So we met up, and I was like, hold my stuff. And as I said, hold my stuff, and gave it to her, the kid Jim. Alright, Jim walks out of the classroom. This was family studies. My family studies teacher was, let me tell you, a bitch. First of all, not really towards me any, because I was kind of more like the quiet kid. I mean, sometimes I did have my little mishaps where I'd act out, not really act out, just, you know, fool around type of deal. At this point, she never actually came out of the classroom to stand beside the door to wait for everyone to leave. She was actually still in the classroom, so I was like, alright, teacher's not here, perfect timing to make my move. So as he was walking with a couple of his buddies. I think there was like 3 of them. He was walking towards me, and he turned around for a second. Not turned around, but turned his head to talk to someone, and right when he turned his head back, he says he wasn't looking at me, but right when he turned his head back. So technically, I mean, you can say that he wasn't like fully paying attention, but like at the same time, that's not really my fault. Anyway, so I go in for my first punch, and this first punch, it was a solid punch. Remember that I never punched anyone before it. I think I hit somebody in the side of the head before, but that was just like a random wail on them, right? I wasn't like nothing like actual punching, nothing. It was just like a side hit. I'll tell that story later too. So I go in for my first punch, and I hit him dead ass, like on the nose, and then my fist also hit his lip, so it hit his tooth, and then his tooth started bleeding, or I mean his lip. And after I punched him, he went into kind of like a little cuddle position against the wall with his binder, and tried to protect his face. And me, being the savage I am, punched him in the side of the head, sort of, and the back of his head a few times after he had ducked. And then after that, I kind of just walked off after I saw the teacher leave the room, being like, what the fuck is going on? So once I started coming, I took off. I was like, fuck that shit. Started walking down the hallway, grabbed my shit, my fucking friends were following me, my ex, you know what I'm saying? We were just walking down the hall and we just left, walking on the street, heading to my friend's house who lived in town. My hand actually started bleeding, and at first I was like, is that his blood? And then I looked closer, and I actually cut open my my hand on his tooth, and there's actually still a scar to this day on my hand from my first ever punch. So I have like a visual, and I'll actually show the scar on screen here. So after that, the school called my parents and said I had a 3-day suspension. Went home, played some video games, I believe, and actually no, I went to a friend's house and then went home and played video games. I also heard afterwards from a couple people that there was apparently a puddle of blood on the floor, and also when I was walking after I punched him, I saw him on the bus. And he looked out the window and saw me, and he gave me the middle finger whilst he had a tissue up on his lip because it was bleeding. So I'm just over sitting here like, dude, he just took the biggest L. He was actually very pissed, and he was trying to like lip some saying I'm like done for or some bullshit. I don't really remember what he all said on the bus, but it's pretty funny. But yeah, after that, me and him actually got cool again after this summer. When we saw each other again this school year, we were actually pretty chill. Now we're actually decent friends, so that's pretty cool. Anyways guys, my name is wdarius. Hope you enjoyed this video and this story that I told. There will definitely be way more of these in the future. I also moved, so a new setup tour will be in place coming soon, and as well as my 500 sub special and some other videos. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys next time. Later.